I've had a fantastic day. I've been invited down to Lincoln College and I'm here with Chris Southcott, lecturer. And what have we been up to today, Chris?
Gary, first of all, lovely to have you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming. We're very pleased to have eFIXX along today. So today we actually ran an award ceremony for our level 1, our level 2, our level 3 study programs and our apprentices, and we had the lovely Gary from eFIXX along to donate and present an award.
Yeah, we did. And this video is all about what makes that fantastic learner, that obviously today we recognise some of those learners, but after speaking to your level 1, level 2 and level 3 learners, I got a feeling that a lot of them could have won an award. So what makes a fantastic learner here at Lincoln College?
Well, I think there's a number of elements that make a fantastic learner, but one of the most important ones is having a goal. So knowing that you want to be something, even though we don't always expect everyone to know. Yeah, if you in your head, if you're like, I want to be an electrician, yeah, that's going to stand you in good stead to do well in the electrical courses. And I have seen that a lot. The students that come in and want to be electricians, they work really hard and they perform really well. So, you know, it's a great boost, I think.
And again, just at this stage, if you leave school and you don't know what you want to do and you decide to go on a course, whatever it is, if it's an electrical course, fantastic, and you don't like it after 1 or 2 years, go home and tell your parents that it wasn't really for you or your carers or the people at home that love you, and just explain to them it wasn't for me, and you've worked out maybe in that 1 or 2 years what you don't want to do when you're at work until you're 67.
Yeah.
However, I got a feeling when I was speaking to the learners that they were pretty enthused because of the following. The staff here are fantastic. Very highly motivated, with a facility which I would suggest is better than any other facility that I've seen, and better than the facility that I used to have at Tresham College, which is a bitter pill for me to swallow, but it is amazing here. And that, I think, if you've got an amazing facility, fantastically motivated staff, that reflects in the learners, especially the ones I spoke to today. Now, we gave a prize to the best learner in level 1. Can you just obviously remind me who he was and why he won the award?
Sure, that was it was Jonathan Good won the award. My student, Jonathan, congratulations. He's been an exemplary student. His attendance, his timekeeping has been faultless. He hasn't missed or been late once, literally the entire year. Throughout lockdown, he contributed and tried hard to online lessons. Whenever he gets something wrong, and we all get things wrong, yeah, it's not about being perfect, it's about learning. Yeah. And so when he gets something wrong, he tries to get it right, and he cares about doing it properly. He's got a lot of really good qualities. He's going to go far. Okay,
so when we looked at the progression route, obviously a level 1 could move to level 2 could move to level 3. I felt a little bit sorry for the ones obviously at level 2 and level 3, because in these difficult times, they've probably had both of those years disrupted in some ways. Yeah. Well, the level 2 can progress on to the level 3, and that's what they were talking to me about if they didn't get an apprenticeship during the summer.
Absolutely, yeah.
What about those level 3 learners that obviously they should really be very close to getting a job? If they haven't got a job in September, what's their progression route?
Okay, well, obviously, you know, we would like them to get into a job. If that's not possible, okay, there's a few other things that they can do. So they could consider going on to an MVQ only course.
Right, okay.
So instead of taking a whole apprenticeship route, it's sort of broken down. So you do your knowledge stuff at college and then you go and do your MVQ. They could consider slightly different pathways, maybe engineering, I think we talked about, didn't we? Or, you know, all sorts of different things. I think they keep themselves busy as well.
Yeah, so you're telling me that I can do a standalone MVQ. Now that's thrown about a lot, because if you do the apprenticeship and you work your way through the standards, you're doing the 5357 here, City and Guilds. Yeah. The bit that they call the MVQ isn't called an MVQ, it's just part of the process as you go through and end at AM2 or AM2S.
Sure, yeah.
So you're telling me that I can do a standalone MVQ, let's say I've got some solid work experience 3 or 4 days a week, that I could actually accumulate the on-site evidence and actually gain that MVQ?
You can, yeah. I mean, it's important that you have access to the requirements of the portfolio. Right. So you're given a portfolio to fill out. So it will say, you know, go and do these different tasks in these different places. Some will be domestic, commercial and industrial. Right. But provided you've got access to those as work experience or as an electrician's mate, you know, that you can do it.
Okay, and that's good, and that's refreshing for me, that you can get to level 3, maybe can't convert it to a full job, but you've got some extended work experience, and actually you can build your MVQ, make yourself even more employable. Now, the facilities here, as I suggested, were excellent. I'm in a room now that has consumer units, which I believe you're bringing cables in to dress it, just so they can learn those skills. Those full-time learners can learn the skills of dressing not a 1 or 2 way consumer unit. We're talking a split load, 10-way board, etc.
Full board, yeah. It's not something that I think is taught very often. No. It's not part of the curriculum. However, it's something that they'll need. So why wouldn't we do that? We're not teaching people to pass a qualification. We're teaching people to be electricians, and that's bread and butter of a domestic installer, right?
Absolutely, and we had a similar thing at Tresham, and I'd just like to say again, you've got way more boards than I have to do that tasking, so again, you're beating me on that one. Over here, we've also got a containment area where you're dressing cables down that are actually band 1 and band 2, and learners are having to not just dress the cables down, but explain segregation of those bands of wire.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't think that's a requirement of any qualifications to do it practically, but you've taken the theory and made it practical?
Exactly, but the reason that we do that is because that's what's going on in the world now, isn't it? Like with home automation, you know, people running data cabling all over the houses. We need to keep them separate. So we're teaching that in our classrooms.
Yeah, and again, it's just taking that and leveling it up. We're not doing the minimum here at Lincoln College. They're looking to do above and beyond, and it's all over the place, including the fact you've got an AM2 prep centre. So where you can practice for AM2 and I saw some tutoring going on at the same time in order to, and it was a more mature learner, in order that they could get ready for that AM2. The AM2 centre is about an hour away from here, is that right?
Yeah, I think if you're going to when you do your AM2, I think it's an hour-ish drive away. Yeah.
Okay, but you're not saying to people at the end of their apprenticeship, that's it for Lincoln College. When you've got to that point, you can go and do your AM2. You're actually offering them the chance to come into college again.
When they've done their portfolio, they then come back to do some proper AM2 training. So we really try and prep you, because obviously, you know, your AM2 can seem quite daunting.
Yeah.
But I think if you get a couple of run-throughs,
you
know, with some tuition, I think that's going to give you the confidence and the competency to go and do your AM2.
And I think the word there is confidence. I think the people that find AM2 challenging is because nerves get the better of them.
Yeah,
I don't believe that they can't do the assessment. I believe it's the nerves of the big occasion. Imagine your driving test was over 2 days. We'd all struggle with that one as well. So let's summarise what you've got here at Lincoln College. You've got fantastic staff, you've got fantastic facilities, and that all comes out in the learners, and they were also very, very communicative. They were male and female. They were very receptive to the information that we gave them from eFIXX, which was lovely to see as well. We know not everybody will get a job, and we also discussed all of those other things that you can do above and beyond the core qualification, whether that be, as you said, continued professional development, CPD, whether it be doing work experience and all the rest of it. If you're watching this video and you get to this part of the video, I would suggest you also have got that investing in yourself, and you want to know what makes a brilliant learner. I think first and foremost is you've got to want to do it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
And then go above and beyond. So if you've got two and a half days a week, is it a full-time program?
Yeah, 2.5 days for full-time.
So that gives you a day and a half extra that you could be working on your craft.
Easy. Yeah. And if you wanted to, your evenings and your weekends.
Yeah.
Depends how much you want it. And let me assure you though, the more stuff that you do like that and you put on your CV, the better it's going to look for an employer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah? And we said, didn't we, everyone's going to have exactly the same qualifications here. I think you've had a fantastic experience. You've come to Lincoln College, but it's those additional bits you put in. So 3 people today can say they won the level 1, level 2 and level 3 award.
Yeah.
So that goes in with a certificate into your portfolio, maybe some CPDs. eFIXX do CPDs on our know-how tab, and I'm sure you're all fully aware of that, and I'll leave a link in the description or the eye above my head for those. And we said, if you've got 6, 7, 8, 10 of those in your portfolio, and somebody else has got exactly the same qualifications as you, you're standing out, aren't you?
Sets you apart.
Sets you apart. You're more
and it's
likely
those students, it's those ones that get picked. Yeah,
they do. Yeah, there's an element of luck for some people, but people who work the hardest tend to get rewarded the most.
I would agree, yeah.
So we'd like to thank Lincoln College, and we'd like to thank you, Chris, for your time today. It's been brilliant.
Thank you ever so much. Lovely to have you.